Ladies and gentlemen, the right people to rule is not the problem of Nigeria. Rather, it is the massive miseducation, a state sponsored miseducation that is the problem of Nigeria. Ask an average Nigerian person how to vote a leader into democracy. They will tell you it's by voting. Ask them again when the leader voted in abuses power, got corrupted, or underperformed. What should the people do? They will tell you that you just need to lament, protest. If after there's no change, you wait for the end of the leader's tenure. That's it. You see how ignorant my people are? They have been brainwashed to know the entry to power in democracy, but blindfolded to the exit of power in democracy. And that's deliberate. And that is because those who got into position right from independence have no good intention for the people. So they have massively miseducated the people and shield the people of the democratic process that the people can take when they misbehave. And you see, until you know these secrets that are actually known to the awakened ones, but unknown to you, the sleeping ones, because the government doesn't want you to know, you will never enjoy democracy as it should be. You see, a lot of people don't even know what is a recall. They don't know what it means. And a lot have been made to think that impeachment is a process done by opponents of the ruling parties. You see, these are the deliberate miseducation we need to teach back to our people, especially the kids that will grow up to be the next generation of leaders. You see, do you ever wonder why they say power belongs to people? Power belongs to people it has nothing to do with election, voting people in. That is actually a line attached to a recall process, which is the people voting that they are tired of your current regime and want a change in leadership. This saying has nothing to do with election. Trust me, but rather it's about people having the power to either recall or impeach you because of your deliberate corruption or incompetence. Now, let me tell you something funny about recall process. You can bribe your way into election, but you can't bribe your way out of recall process. If this is finally taken to your doorsteps as a leader by the people, recall is a testament of your performance. And at that point, people are already living with fresh pains in their mind that your corruption, mismanagement, performance has caused them. And are determined to see you pack off. No amount of bribery can erase that pain. Now, that is what they mean by power belongs to people. I will make myself clear. You see, it is very easy to bribe human beings into election because the person bribing is not the one who is responsible for their just concluded suffering. So they just took the money with the hope that in their Jesus' name or Allah's name, their choice of voting that person that bribed them, which will enable them to eat for the next 1 week, will coincide with the right candidate who will do the right thing. And you see, this is why I keep telling you guys that religion teachings, especially Christianity, are actually the foundation of how bad leadership thrives. And these teachings are deliberately set by the religious owners to make exploitation of mankind easy. Take a look at it this way. Government opens people's resources directly or indirectly to exploiters. I mean, bad government. The foreign exploiters make profit off the minerals exploitation and bribes the leaders whose language of surviving is already money. Talk of Europe. So as an empire sets up a religion teachings that creates loopholes for bad leadership to thrive in the mind of the people. So the power can leverage on the corruption and incompetence of the bad leaders to exploit resources. Now, listen, to exploit the resources from the people to keep themselves and their family rich and controlling forever. And now, back to Africa. In Africa's case, we could say a foreign power sets up a religious teachings, which is now a foreign religion that creates loopholes for bad leadership to thrive. So the foreign power can leverage on the corruption and the incompetence of our bad leaders in Africa to exploit resources from the people and take it back to their country to develop their countries and make themselves rich and controlling forever. Meanwhile, they just tip our government, whose language is already money. Because if not, how can a sane human being not know that you reap what you sow? Nothing like luck, nothing like grace in leadership. You make the right choice, you get the right result. You make the bad choice, and you get the bad result. Regardless of how much you think the Almighty loves you, or how much grace you think you or your society carries. Now, guys, let's talk about impeachment. This is by far the most state-forbidding exit of democracy. The government has labeled those who call for impeachment of a non-performing regime as enemies of the state. They call them rebels, they call them terrorists, they call them political rivals, all sort of names, etc. But this is not true. Guys, this is deliberate misinformation to take that power belongs to people away from you so that you wouldn't want to be tagged with any of those bad names. You know, impeachments, I repeat, impeachments alongside recalling are simply the final backdoors that people are legally allowed to exercise after thorough access of a regime as a leader. If as a leader, you are found guilty of any or combination of these two things I'm going to mention, corruption or incompetence, impeachment and recall is a legal process to your doorstep. You see, our society in Nigeria today lacks the education of democracy backdoors, which are recalling an impeachment. And that's why people find themselves powerless after much cry. After they cry, so much cry, lamentation, agitation, protest, they ended up being arrested, molested, decapitated, and everybody go back home and be waiting for another election. And they will tell you, we'll wait till next election and kick him out. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, people? The truth is, next election is not tomorrow. Remove 4 years from somebody that is already age 32. They fall back to 28. So you see, that person can no longer be fit into a room where they called mature 30s. So no numbers of years is small or short. Every seconds, every minutes, weeks, months, years of your life, you must take the best necessary actions. You see, waiting for the next 4 years in the hand of people that doesn't have your interest at heart can actually ruin you. Not just you, it will ruin your entire generation. And you see, this miseducation that has kept our people off the loop is why human rights activists are having a hard time changing the society they so dearly wish to do. You see, take for example, Mr. Shiwari and others that we know. They constantly always have to educate the masses while they are fighting the ruling leaders at the same time, which is not supposed to be. You see, those of us who have chosen to be in the line of emancipating and re-educating the ignorance masses are supposed to be the one going back to the grassroots, the villages, councils, constituencies, and all, to educate our people who are fighting the powers that be will be easy for the people who are risking their lives to be at the forefront. You see, I will personally advise Mr. Shiwari to invest more in supporting the working Nigerians who have as well dedicated their life to educate the people the same way he's doing at the forefront, so as to make his work easy. Because at the end of the day, when you're finally able to get these bad leaders on stage for a straight-up confrontation to determine the fate of your struggle or the fate of their bad leadership, the people will still be the one that will be called upon to cast a vote of confidence on either your struggle to liberate or the continuation of their bad leadership. So now imagine the fate of your struggle to liberate resting on the shoulders of people that are massively uninformed and unaware of how true democracy should be. They are danger for your agitation for liberation, but they are more of a tool for the bad leaders. They are useful to the bad leaders than you. So, ladies and gentlemen, now you see why I said the right people to rule isn't the problem in Nigeria, but the massive miseducation is the problem in Nigeria.